it's quite interesting to note that the times we are in require lots of sensitivity and observation, and yet we're acting like all is well, nothing can go wrong. You know, just as it was in the days of Noah, people were marrying and giving in marriage, you know. People were enjoying their lives. It's as if nothing was going to happen, and suddenly people were taken, you know, by surprise. Even so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man, at the return of Jesus Christ. That's what at least the Bible attests in Matthew 24, verse around 37. In the days of Babylon, the days of Persia, you know, the days of those very powerful empires, the Roman empires, etc., the river Euphrates used to be an extremely important, it was a pivotal geographical feature. In fact, just like we have the West and East today, back in the days, it used to be you're either on this side of the river Euphrates or the other. In the days of Ezra, when he was trying to rebuild the temple after coming back from exile, you know, there were people who were fighting that project, and they had to write a letter to the king. King, you know, Cyrus had orchestrated the beginning of the temple, and then, you know, he got out of power. Later on, King Darius comes to power, and there were political fights over this project because the king who orchestrated it, Cyrus, had left power. Now, there were politicians who wrote a letter and said, we are writing from this side of the river Euphrates. They were writing to the empire, because at that time, Israel and Jerusalem were all under the governance of the other side of the empire. They were, you know, tributaries. They were people giving tribute to the empire that was in power at that time. Now, that shows you that the river Euphrates has always been very, very powerful. It has always been, you know, a force to reckon with. But what is happening today? People will tell you, there's global warming, you know, there's climate change. There's always a logical, scientific explanation, you know. There's always an attempt. But the Bible declares in Revelation 16:12 that the sixth angel poured out his boil on the great river Euphrates, and its water was dried up, to prepare the way for the kings from the east. It's in your Bible. When you read news open-mindedly today, that river has dried. And you know what? The scriptures go ahead to tell us that upon the river Euphrates drying, we're talking of the revelation God gave to John in the book of Revelation. 3 very powerful devils came out from under the river Euphrates and pervaded the face of the earth. Now, these 3 spirits are there to, you know, set a pace, to set a stage. They are a precursor to the coming of the ultimate Antichrist spirit. It will interest you to note right now as we speak that there are so many young people on social media, and their job is to speak against the Bible, speak against how they don't believe in Jesus, how he is not real. Now, those people are not doing this thing of their own accord. They are under the influence of these 3 very powerful principalities that came out of the river Euphrates upon drying. Now, this is the time that we are living in. In most cases, when we live in prophetic times, it's always as though prophecies are not for our time. They are for another generation. They don't apply to me. It will not happen in my time, for I have to marry, I have to finish my master's, I have to get a visa to the Western country, or probably get permanent residence, or things like that. But the coming of the flood in the days of Noah did not mean that activity on earth ceased. People were busy organizing weddings. People were busy organizing functions. Politicians were busy. Journalists were busy. Men, entrepreneurs were busy. But let me tell you what, they were all caught unawares. Believe you me, the times we are in require us to carry the spirit of the sons of Issachar, because the Bible declares that the sons of Issachar understood the times. You know, we are in a time that we are refusing to understand, or probably we are taking on deliberate, you know, decisions not to perceive and understand that the times we are in are extremely sensitive. My brother, my sister, let me tell you one thing. If you have been keen on TikTok, keen on other media platforms, you'll realize that there are so many voices anti-Christ. It's not a coincidence. Those 3 devils are operating on the face of the earth right now, and they are setting a stage for the coming of the Antichrist. The more reason you realize that people are speaking about Jesus, young as they are becoming so bold by the day. They're becoming so bold by the day. And before you know it, they will have a crowd. They'll have a following. Beware if you are one of those followers. You may be in trouble. We are living in the days of the end times where the Antichrist spirit is coming. All the people who refute the reality of God are always attacking the Bible. I've not seen anybody who is saying, I don't believe in God. I don't believe attacking the Quran. I have not seen them attack Buddhism. I've not seen them attack Hinduism. There's over 6,000 religions in India, for example. I've not seen any of them go TikTok to attack. It's always against the Bible. Who is Jesus? How can he be God? It's always, meaning we are dealing with the Antichrist spirit. It is evident. Be wise in your observations. Be wise in your comments. Don't allow. It's not a wise thing to lose your soul on account of having likes on social media, on account of having a following, on account of, monetizing your following on social media. It is not worth it. Jesus asks a question. What does it profit a man to eat the whole world and lose their soul? Think about it. Blessings on you.